For my wildcard source chart, I decided to explore the nutrition of the campus dining environment and how students feel about their options that are given to them. So my first article was an article written through a Cornell University blog for a project in Tompkins County, New York. This article was written by Jordan Davis, and it talks about the weight gain problem, commonly known as the freshman 15, and its relationship with universities and the dining environment which they're setting up for their students. I thought this was really important to me because it addresses a very prevalent matter of concern, which a lot of students talk about. And when I lived on campus last semester, I know that this hit very close to home for me. And many times I would wonder, why aren't there healthy options? Why is it that the freshman 15 happens? So it really digs deep into this, which I appreciated. Its credibility was a 7 because it was a blog. I could not find a lot of information on the author. However, because it was through Cornell University and there were significant sources provided, that definitely gave it good credibility. And I thought this was very helpful, so I ranked it at a 4. And my second article was on food insecurity and why 59% of college students may suffer from malnutrition. This was an article written on Medical Daily for the Healthy Living section by an author named Lizette Borelli, and it focuses on the problem of food insecurity among college students. And not many people are actually aware that college campuses are a food desert, and a food desert is a place that does not have access to sufficient produce and stuff like that. This interests me because countless times last semester I would think, if I didn't have my car, how would I get my fruits and vegetables? How would I get certain things that are necessities to my lifestyle, since I live a healthy lifestyle in terms of my eating? But a lot of kids don't have access to that, so that's definitely a problem. And I ranked the credibility for this at a 7 as well. It was not peer-reviewed or anything, but it did have significant sources to back it up, and Medical Daily is a reputable website. And this was extremely helpful to me. I ranked it a 5. My third article was the effectiveness of pricing strategies on French fries and fruit purchases among university students. It was a peer-reviewed journal. It did have several authors, all of which were very credible and have been published extensively in the medical and health field. And this journal was an experiment which actually showed that the price reduction of healthy foods was more effective than the price increase of unhealthy foods. And this was an effort to veer students away from choosing unhealthy choices. And it was interesting because they tried both increasing the price of unhealthy foods, and that was less effective as actually decreasing the price of healthy foods, which is interesting because students are still willing to pay more for unhealthy food, but then when healthy food is cheaper, they are more willing to purchase it. So that was interesting. As I found this extremely interesting and relevant because a lot of college students are tight on money, and so adjusting the prices of different options definitely did have a impact on which purchases were made. I ranked the credibility for this as a 10 just because all the authors were so published in their field and had such extensive background on writing about this, and because it was peer-reviewed. I ranked this as a 3 out of 5. And my fourth article was University Students on Campus Food Purchasing Behaviors. And this was another peer-reviewed journal written by several authors who were also published in the field extensively. And this journal was another experiment conducted to better understand the reasoning behind certain food purchases among college students and how they feel about, their food availability on campus. So it was really cool to kind of get a psychological aspect for why students were choosing the foods that they were and what the driving factor was behind these purchases. I really liked that it provided some interesting statistics, one of which was that 90% of the students who were involved in the study wanted a discount on healthy foods, so there was that desire there among a vast majority of the students. So that should be, I think, a very strong indicator that this is something that not just 1 or 2 people want, but 90% of this specific population wanted it. So I'm sure it would be large in other places as well if a larger scale study was conducted. So that's very interesting to me. Its credibility was a 10, and then helpfulness to me, I did a 2. And lastly, I did students' perspectives on promoting healthy food choices from campus vending machines. This was a government document written by several authors who all had very, very credible sources. All the sources that were cited were journals, peer-reviewed articles, government documents as well. So this was a very, very credible source. The journal was another experiment, and this actually expressed the desire of students to have more healthy options in their vending machines. Since time is so crucial in college, students obviously want to have something that is on the go, quick, but also at a good price as well. And I found this very, very relatable because I cannot express how many times I am walking to class and walking through a building and I recognize, like, hey, I'm hungry. So I look at a vending machine and all there are Doritos, Cheetos, Oreos, and that's not what I want because I know what makes me feel good. I know what makes me feel like I'm engaging my brain in the right way and what's not making me tired, what's giving me energy, and it's not those fat-laden sugar foods. So thought that was very, very relatable, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that way. That there was, they wish that there was a higher amount of options at least so that you could either choose the junk food as a treat or you could have that healthy option as well in the vending machines for quick access. This really agrees with my first and second articles on the fact that price is a big deal, but that options matter as well. And specifically with the food desert, not to say that vending machines are food deserts, but I mean, they kind of are in the same way because if vending machines offered that produce, that could help solve somewhat of the problem with a lack of produce, as I mentioned on the food insecurity article above. So all the articles really supported the same general idea regarding the fact that there is a nutrition problem, whether it be malnutrition, obesity, or just lack of options. There is definitely a food and nutrition problem among college campuses, which needs attention.